Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. We are back with the last episode that I am recording in bulk and the beginning of year 2. We have a lot to do. So we have 2 people to save this year. We need to save Tonin, we need to save Hal. I want to see if we could get another thing from Sim. If that could be possible, that would be great. We also want to sneak out some more, of course. Maybe get our first pet. And other than that, we're just going to keep trying to raise our stats. Organizing could definitely do with more. I would also like to raise our empathy a little bit more. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out. But to start with, let's talk to our pups. You're looking a little worn out, my little firefly. Your dad greets you, looking concerned. You know, despite what your mom might say, there is such a thing as too much work. Maybe some R&R over in the lounge would help recharge those solar cells. What do you say? Maybe I just need a hug. Your dad throws his arms wide. We'll get in here, Tiger Butter. After a long hug, you do feel a little better. Your dad gives incredible hugs. Perfect, and now that we have 95 stress, we're allowed to go out and do something. So what should we do? First, let me give you this, because I can just hang out with Deese outside. This is interesting, as Altang says, taking the roots and turning them over in her hands. Her lips curl in distaste at the dirt that still clings to them. No, really, she protests when she sees the look on your face. I'm going to analyze these roots to see if they have any useful properties. They might be medicinal. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you, she adds, almost as an afterthought. Alright, and we'll give the crystal to Mars. Boop, 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 boop. She holds the crystal up to the light and gazes into it. At the right angle, I can see my face in it. Beautiful. Oh! You know, Yabby, you're alright, Mars says as you approach. You blink at her, trying to figure out what she means. You're an alright what? At your stunned silence, Mars laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder. You're alright, she repeats. You actually have good taste, unlike these other nullheads. Ever since we landed, it's been help with this, Mars, and don't waste resources on that, Mars. It's boring. At least you understand the importance of sophistication. You shoot the breeze with Mars a bit longer. At some point, Deese skulks out of the living quarters and has to pass by you both, clearly trying not to draw your attention. Ugh, where's he going now? Mars mutters to you, and then raises her voice so Deese can hear. Try not to get eaten by aliens, she calls out to Deese. If you die out there, they can use your body for fertilizer. Don't be a waste. Shut up, Mars! Deese is cool! You say it loud enough for Deese to hear. He looks at you with wide eyes before scurrying towards the walls. Huh, Mars says with a little smile. No accounting for taste. She seems to respect that you challenged her. She watches Deese disappear from sight, then shrugs. Maybe you can get through to him. I've tried, but he doesn't care about contributing to the colony or being popular, or earning kudos, or anything important. What do you contribute, Mars? Mars laughs and puts her hand on her hips. I contribute plenty, and you know it, Yabby. People need someone to tell them what to do, don't they? I mean, true, you are going to become the governor in this final run. I'm letting you have it. I got the satisfaction of it last time, and that was good enough for me. I'm not meant to have that much power. It's too much for me. Have they ever told you the story of Darth Yabius the Wise? Oh, now Mars is on 13 too. Alright, let's see. Tammy is the lowest. Let's do some babysitting. Babysitting! Most of the kids in the creche go home at the end of the workday to be with their parents, but some live there full time. Anne's triplets, for example, as well as orphans from the wormhole crash, and children whose parents have simply opted to have them communally raised. You heard that orphanages on Earth could be troubled, but here in the creche, everyone is cared for equally. They're lucky in a sense. In the creche, they have a huge family and so many siblings to play with. You and Tammy are putting 2 of the creche kids to bed. Tammy is cuddled up with one of them, reading a book out loud. Tonight's story, Tammy begins, is about a little vacubot named Litter. One night while Litter was charging, there was a power surge in her charging station. Zap! Tammy tickles the children for emphasis. And next morning when Litter woke up, well, instead of cleaning, she decided to go on a grand adventure. Tammy makes up the story as she goes. She has the vacubot venture all the way out to the Geophonics Dome, to the other side of the colony to meet her cousin bots in engineering, but everything goes wrong and the little vacubot gets scared and lost. After Captain Udicott saves her and brings her back to Geophonics, the little vacubot vows never to go exploring again and lives happily ever after. The two kids are sound asleep. It sounds kind of like Peter Rabbit. Wow, you're so great with kids. Thanks, Yabby. Tammy blushes. I can't wait to have kids of my own. I want at least 5. Maybe more even. Auntie Seaton says I could have as many as I want, and she and the other creche parents will help raise them all together. I think I'd like that. Aww. We are going to get to see little Echinacea this run, so that's going to be fun. There we go. So much has happened in this last month since the monster attacked during Glow. The idea of this planet as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security guards are now training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. In class, you have drills on what to do if the colony is attacked again. In all the excitement, you forgot today was your birthday. Your parents haven't forgotten. They wake you up early with a very enthusiastic shouts of surprise! A Vertumnan year is only a little longer than a year on Earth, so you've taken up its calendar for birthdays. Yours is in the 2nd month of quiet. Spark snow drifts slowly past your porthole window as you snuggle with your dad. Your mom climbs up too and sits on the edge of your bed. Your dad pulls a bowl of fruit from behind his back with a flourish, like a magic trick. At least you think it's fruit. What are those? Bobber fruit, your dad grins. The foragers have been picking these up just outside the walls. They might look funny, but they're very tasty. Try one. You take a cautious bite. The pulp is soft and tastes a bit like lemon, only more blue. I bet you can't wait to join the surveyors out there, your dad says wistfully. Who knows what else you'll find? Yabby's not allowed outside the gates, your mom interrupts, her voice sharp. It's too dangerous for kids. Well, I know, but eventually, your dad says, but your mom cuts him off again. But not now, your mom replies. Not since the attack. Not with everything we know is out there now. You knew about the monsters, admitted! Your parents exchange a heavy look. The surveyors knew there was something dangerous out there we hadn't encountered yet, your mom admits after a guilty silence. But we didn't know it would attack the colony. We thought if we closed the gates and stayed inside, it wouldn't see us as a threat. We didn't want to scare anyone, your dad adds. It was just a precaution. Even still, your mom says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if it happens again. To be clear, that includes knowing when to run away, your dad adds. Security Chief Rhett's offering self-defense lessons at the garrison, you know, even for kids. If you're interested, you should drop in sometime. Your mom gives you a stern look. And I know your friend Deese has been sneaking outside the walls, she says grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear. You laugh. What a good joke. Your mom doesn't laugh. What, me? Never. Yeah, you better never, your mom retorts, crossing her arms. I did. What's up, Tam Tam? Tammy beams when she sees you like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Yabby! Aw, yay! She comes in for a huge hug. She smells so nice, like vanilla and flowers, and she really is good at hugs. This is for you, Tammy says. She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, opening it to reveal a little snack-sized cake. It's only soy cake, but it's soy cake made just for you. You take a bite. Okay, it tastes just like a regular soy cake too. Tammy did what she could with what the colony has. Tammy watches you eat the cake with a look of delighted satisfaction. You can share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly. If that would make you happy, I share it with Tammy. Tammy laughs. I was just kidding. I made my own, silly Billy, she says, pulling out a second box. Let's eat them together, of course. It's weird talking to everyone. Because normally, in all the runs we've been doing, we've mainly been focusing on one character. It's nice to kind of interact with everybody. Alright, let's relax. We need it. And then we'll probably sneak out and try and find our Hopeye. You spend several hours a day obsessively checking the local holonet for updates. With so few people in the colony, social media can be very dead. It feels like you're talking to yourself sometimes. You try to start a few conversations, but most people are busy at work or school. Understandable. I'm gonna break the law now. Oh, but first, I have a gift for you. Food! Cal grabs the fruit out of her hands, then remembers his manners. He gives you a big hug. Thanks, Yabby, I'm starving. How did you know? Alright, let's give the cake to Anemone. Does she like cake? Only one way to find out. Never mind. We'll find out later. Tang, do you like cake? Oh, darn it. Mars! No, wait, I gave her one too. Let's sneak out. We need to at least get to the Hopeye, and then it's gonna kick us back out. But that's okay, because we need to... I just want to clear a path so that we can get to Tonin when the time comes. You let your mind wander as you're walking and bumble straight into a field of gelatinous blob grass. Totally transparent, the sticky fronds are hard to see, but even harder to ignore, especially once they start glomming to your boots and slowing you down. It's like trudging through thick mud. You stubbornly decide to keep going, paying close attention to the visible signs of this blob grass field, and there aren't many, just an absence of other vegetation. Look for a path. Nice. There it is. You can hop along from that rock to that fallen log, then climb over those old pieces of surveying equipment. You get through the villainous blobgrass. You spend a bunch of time on it though, and it takes some tricky balance. It's tiring. Good thing we have the calm temperament. Ooh, that'll be good. And is this relaxing again? Yes. Let me load through that. We want to save that. Just in case. For if we come out here again sooner than later. Spark snow has been drifting around you all day, igniting teensy sparks where it touches the ground, but now it's really started coming down hard, like hail, not like soft snow. Except this hail ignites, more like explodes, on contact with solids. Nothing wrong with a little snow. The spark snow is actually quite pleasantly warm for snow. You continue trudging forward, ducking your head as the hail pummels your back. You're still congratulating yourself for being so tough and rational when the snowbank catches your foot and you twist your ankle the wrong way. Owie, owie, owie! Alright, I suddenly want to spit melon seeds. And relax. Totally didn't make a stupid choice or anything. You're minding your own business when you stumble into... There's something here. Something invisible that makes the hairs on your arm stand on end, like an electric aura. As you walk forward, it begins to feel like something nipping at your ankles. But when you look down, there's nothing there. You back away. The sensation stops. You move forward. Oh, it's worse! This feeling is like tiny electrical bites, and it's growing more intense. Some kind of microscopic gnats? An electric field of some sort? It hurts, but maybe you can find a way to avoid it and get through this area. Perceive it! 5, 5... Nice. By trial and error and a little intuition, you find a route through whatever that was. The shock seems strongest near some low-lying fractal palms. You hear a humming from the palms and decide it must be some kind of natural electric field, maybe to ward off animals like you. Ooh. Spoopy. Geophonics Engineerings have set up a work site here, using the robo-plow to tear up the ground and prep it for farming. You don't want them to see you. They'll send you home for sure. Sneak past them. We need to raise our perception anyway, because if we try and get back in, I think we might get caught by Tonin. And although that only raises our stress and doesn't do anything else, stress management is important, even if I'm not doing a very good job at it. Nor the card part. You skulk under the trees at the edge of their operation. The loud grinding of the roboplow hides any noise you might have made. Nice. Hopeye! Do you want to be my friend? You hear the sad hiccuping sound and follow it to find a sick Hopeye. It's hunched low, its foot completely nestled under its body and shivering uncontrollably. Its enormous eye roll around in confusion and fear as you approach. I'm going to try and take it home with me. Let's see. 3. Oh dear. I might need to reload. I may have screwed this up already. No, no, no. We can bring it back. We can bring it back. There we go. Worth it. The Hopeye hisses and tries to bite you. It doesn't want to be touched. You throw your jacket over it, then carefully pick it up and put it in your pack. You crack the zipper to give it a bit of fresh air. Your dad helps you make a little nest for it in an empty part of the geophonics barns. Every day you bring it food and water and gradually nurse it back to health. Cal takes an active interest in the recuperation. Utopia says that Hopeyes don't really have a gender, he says, as you're washing out the pen together. Or maybe she said they're both, and they're really social. So what are you going to name them, he asks. I'm gonna go back to what I think I called them the first time, which is Hop Pop. Cal offers a Hopeye a piece of bobber fruit. Cute! Hop Pop plucks the fruit from Cal's hand and hops into your lap to snuggle down and nibble on it. Cal snaps a photo with his holopalm and shares it, captioning it, Friends for Life. Aww! Oh, and that gives us one less stress. We should add that for now. Ooh, that's perfect! You crawl through the big drainage pipe behind the sports ball pitch, carefully sliding the metal grate back into place behind you, then carefully check that the coast is clear. Good thing, too, because Uncle Tonin is passing by on his way to the garrison. You curl up in the shadows and wait for him to leave. That was close. Phew! Alright, this gives us +5 reasoning, but we're raising that pretty good. We're gonna add this to get even less stress-inducing moments. And here, I have a gift for you. Boop. Wow, Dees is uncharacteristically excited about the roots. They're so colorful. I've never seen roots like these before. What kind of plants are those from? I don't know, but I'm happy you like it. Who needs friendship? Okay, Anemone... Tangent and Dees are the highest. Oh, and Cal. So Mars, Tangent, and Anemone all need friendship. Well, Tangent, I can gift you... not cake. I have this. Anemone, I don't know. Oh, hey, hang on 1 second. I can give Anemone this log. What's up, Cal? You catch Cal to the gate of the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. Hi, Abby, he exclaims. He pauses to pat your pet on the head. And hello to you too, Hop Pop. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new partner in Geophonics now, Cal says. We can run around all we want and nobody will say we're trampling the fields. You should play there sometime. And bring Hop Hop. They'll love it. I will. Gotta train our pet. Cake for Mars. Just gifting everybody. And a stick for you. And don't worry, I'll do something with you right now. Let's do a little defense training with Anemone. You attend your first session of Chief Security Rhett's self-defense classes. It's a small class, mostly security officers and other adults. You and Anemone are the only kids. She gives you a wink and a cheesy thumbs up as you listen to Rhett rant about how everyone in the colony needs to learn self-defense. You could be walking along, thinking you're safe within the walls, and then a flying animal could swoop out of the sky. Then what do? Rhett chops the air with his hand. I tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna chop that beast right in the throat. Hi-yah! He points to the assembled class. But only if you learn what I'm about to teach you. And the only way to learn is by doing. Who wants to volunteer for demonstration? I am brave. The security chief doesn't scare you. Or so you pretend. Rhett is like the biggest adult you know. And he's so intense. You step forward and Rhett nods as he crouches down. Okay, he says. I'm a manticore, stalking you through the forest. What do? I run away. I mean, I'm not about to do that in wet, but I'm gonna say that just so you think I'm listening to you. There's a smattering of laughter among the other students, but you have to live your truth. If you see a manticore, you are out. Rhett doesn't laugh. That's correct, he says proudly. Only engage with the enemy when there's no other alternative. No one walks away from a fight without getting hurt. So the first rule of self-defense is to not put yourself in situations where you need to fight. Once you've learned situational awareness, we'll move on to hand-to-hand self-defense, drawing on a variety of martial arts. Only when I'm confident that you're ready will we advance to weapons. There aren't that many weapons in the colony, mostly stun gloves and batons and a few blast rifles. You hope you don't have to use them, but it'll be good to know how. True, especially since we're gonna have to go after a manticore. But it's for Tonin. And for Hal. We will save them. We will save everyone. Speaking of saving people. Still nothing? I'm waiting for you, Dad. Fine. What else can we do? 14, 16, 16, 18, 18, 18. Let's do some more deliveries. Just a little bit. Deliver supplies. A lot of people don't like to leave their workspaces to come eat in the cafeteria, so every day around lunchtime you get to go around the colony and deliver steaming hot meals to people. This is the best, because seeing you means it's time to take a break. They're so happy to see me. They can finally rest. There we go. Oh, and I even got 3 stars for that. You're finishing breakfast in the common area when Marzipan struts in. Look at you, eating cereal, she says, turning her nose up at you. I'll bet you don't even know what day it is. It's Valentine's Day. No, you dummy, Mars starts, then pauses and gives you a suspicious look. Wait, what did you say? Well, anyway. Today, she announces to the room, is St. Valentine's Day. Deece and Tammy wander over to hear more. Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow, and it makes you dream about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows and pigs. Tammy cocks her head. Why pigs? Before Mars can answer, Deece snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. He rolls his eyes and walks away. It reminds me of that Invader Zim episode where Dib is like, wow, I thought people used to give people candy on Valentine's Day. How did the whole meat thing get started? And the teacher's like, you don't want to know. He rolls his eyes and walks away. As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back, well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink. I know who my best friend will be. Mars bats her eyes jokingly. Oh, really? Who could it be? She asks playfully. I'm going to tell the other kids about it, Mars says. So you go around and find your best friend and give them a gift. She points her finger at you. Make sure you do it by the end of the day or it doesn't count. And if too many people want to be my best friend, she adds, I'll hold tryouts for the position. It's only fair. She tosses her hair over her shoulder and laughs. We're picking Mars, not only because I just love her, but also because she's the one with the lowest friendship, and if we don't pick her, she's going to get upset with us, and then we'll have to raise it again. Mars! Mars has clearly been waiting for someone to ask to be her BFF, but she's trying to play it cool, looking expectant and nonchalant at the same time. She's tapping her foot while kind of idly looking around at nothing. In my dreams, we're in love. She blushes and looks around frantically for a second, and you think she's going to run away. Then she quickly darts forward and gives you a peck on the cheek. OMG, that's totes romantical, she squeaks. Then, these are for you, best friend. She stuffs some chocolate rations in your hand. Then she runs. Oh, I love that one. I love being able to fluster Mars. It doesn't happen often, but it's so cool when you manage to do it. Alright, now where are we standing? 17, 18, 18, 18, 16, 16. Alright, let's do something in engineering. Let's do some... Do we need more reasoning or organizing? We might actually want to get some creativity. Yeah, that might be for the best. Because we don't have some, and we could do with some more persuasion. There's some sort of emergency in engineering that requires Hal's attention, so today's class will be taught by the ship's artificial intelligence Congruent. Good morning, Congruent chirps. Today we're going to talk about the formation of the Vertumna group and our decision to leave Earth. It's a very exciting topic, and we think you're finally ready to hear about it. Let's dig in. You know about how it started. Economic and environmental instability coupled with deeply entrenched hatreds and thrown the Earth in chaos. And you know how it ended. In the chaos, your parents formed the Vertumna group with a plan to leave Earth. 20 years later, and they and their starborn children, you, slid through a wormhole and ended up here, on a planet you called Vertumna. But there's so much you don't know. Congruence pulls up a hollow projection of an unassuming human with a firm maternal gaze. This is Planktonic Ascendance Wangbotha Schmidt, she says, the spiritual leader of the Vertumna movement. They were what people called a speculative fiction writer. The Vertumna Project proved that their writing, though speculative, was far from fiction. A sci-fi author? Yes, Congruence tells you, their best-selling novel, Life Beyond the Einstein-Rosen Bridge, told the story of a fictional utopia on the other side of the real-life anomaly at the edge of the solar system. Scientists had been investigating the wormhole for years, but it took a poet to imagine we could travel through it. Wang Botha-Schmidt's writing centered around the idea of humanity building a technological utopia on another world. Translated to 100 languages, this was a compelling idea to people at the time, so fans started connecting in vert space. Far from just a book club, these people bonded over mutual aid amid increasing unrest in their own countries. They were committed to Wang Botha-Schmidt's idea of a future where everyone is treated equally without prejudice. But they realized it couldn't be done online, Congruence tells you. Though committed to social justice, the group saw impossibility of forming a true egalitarian society while also reckoning with their own implicit biases and the diverse context of their real lives. They realized that this was the work of generations, and solutions must look to the future, as Wang Botha-Schmidt did. So they got together. The image of a squat, concrete building with a rooftop garden replaces Wang Botha-Schmidt. Around the edges of the classroom, the holoprojector gives the impression of towering walls topped with razor wire. The first Vertumna colony, Congruence tells you. 400 people volunteered to sacrifice their own cultural beliefs to walk through these doors, agreeing to come up with a new way of life that would be taught to their children. Babies were conceived from egg and sperm donors chosen by lottery and raised communally like you as the second generation of the Vertumna group. Those babies were your parents. Wait, was it some kind of cult? Yes, Congruence tells you cheerfully. The Vertumna group was widely considered to be a non-religious cult. Membership was outlawed in some countries. Platonic ascendants Wang Botha-Schmidt was later assassinated for their connection to the group, and the ensuing violence affected many lives. You think of your mother and her prosthetic leg and how she rarely talked about her life on Earth. The holoprojection now shows the compound under siege. As more colonies were founded, word got out about the Vertumna group's social experiments, Congruence continues. Assimilation was an unpopular ideology at the time because it had been used to commit terrible genocides on Earth. This, combined with panic that the Vertumna group was destroying the family unit or raising an army of gene-tech super soldiers, brought the colony under attack from all sides. But cultural assimilation is horrible. In leaving behind inherited traditions, rules, and resentments, the hope is that humanity may be wiped clean of centuries of intergenerational trauma. Congruence sounds like she's reciting a doctrine. Even the first generation of the Vertumna group wasn't certain it was possible. You're the beginning of the new beginning. Who knows what you'll be capable of? You get the feeling you're not going to get a nuanced answer from the ship's AI. The image of the burning compound is replaced with the stratospheric on a launch pad. Luckily, the next phase of the Vertumna project was ready to launch. 100 colonists were selected to leave Earth on a colony ship to seed a far-flung corner of the universe with a new human culture. She smiles. The ultimate goal of the Vertumna group was you, children, she says. A generation raised completely unburdened by the troubles that plagued Earth. Isn't that lovely? But how did they build the ship? Orbital voyages were a hobby for the ultra-rich in an earlier century, so there were several relics to be found in museums, Congruence replies. The difficulty was not in acquiring a ship, but in making it space-worthy, and in the logistics of the launch itself. The group crowdsourced enough funding to purchase and repair the ship, Congruence smiles. As for logistics, well, you're speaking to the solution right now. I was acquired by the connected group members, along with the gene tech that was created you and your parents. The stratospheric was the first manned vessel to navigate the wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Given the state Earth was left in when they left, it may have been the last. Unfortunately not. What was Earth like when they left? Terrible! Congruence shows you some dire demographics. The institutions that had people given the illusion of safety were torn down, and wars were rampant, both resource-based and ideological. Large parts of Earth were rendered uninhabitable by climate change, pollution, and nuclear war, especially the critical food-growing regions of the world. The Vertumna group weren't the only ones trying to escape Earth, but as far as we know, we're the only ones with success. Foreshadowing. So nobody on Earth was like us? The Vertumna group members have a unique culture, Congruence replies, but it's formed from a combination of many heritages from Earth. Even the language you speak, Esperanto, was invented to bring people together. And don't worry, Congruence exclaims, you brought your best heritage with you. You're humans. So much information. Your head is stuffed with ideas it might burst. Professor Howell and your parents never mentioned this stuff before. They waited to tell you because they wanted you to grow up without feeling different based on your genetic makeup or family history. It's hard to imagine having a different culture than your neighbors. You wonder what it's like. Everybody's celebrating different holidays, eating different food, speaking different languages. Are you missing out? Or are you better without it, like the original colonists believed? It's hard to say, as the decision was made for you long before you were born. All you can do is be the best Yabby you can be. See, I think it's a mix of both. I don't know, maybe that's controversial to say, but like, it seems like they were better off without it in terms of the bad stuff. But there's still the good stuff, you know, there's good and bad in everything. And so for all of the bad stuff they're missing out on, there's also a lot of good stuff that they'll never get to see. A bunch of different cultures and holidays and history that will never be remembered because Fortuna didn't bring it with them. And that's kind of sad. Alright, but on that happy note, we're going to end this episode here. This is the last video I'm bulk recording for Exocolonist before I am back from my little vacation. So I will be taking your changes or requests into account starting after this. But for now, I will say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, watch out for cults, and have a good day.